Hello everyone, it's James from Keeping It Anime, and today we're talking episode 100 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Now, story-wise, this episode was fantastic. Animation-wise, this episode was brilliant. So, let's talk about two characters in particular for this episode. We have two brilliant characters and two great character moments. Those are from I and from Akira. So we'll start off with Akira. We all know that the plan to stop the neuron link is for the Knights of Hanoi and Akira's team, Ghost Girl as well, to basically attack from the outside and the inside. Okay. The outside team, so the Knights basically work fine. They've done their end. But because we know what the plan is, it doesn't go according to it. The bomb needs to be, the virus bomb that we saw last episode, needs to be set manually. Akira says he'll do it because he knows Soul Technology's security layouts better than Emma does. Okay, fine. And we see Ghost Girl get neuron linked. Her consciousness gets taken from the neuron link while she tries to protect Akira. Brilliant. But Akira continues to work on. He knows that he has to make this plan work. And just as he's about to press the enter button to detonate this bomb, we see the neuron link take him as well. And the episode planned this so well because it kept cutting back and forth. And when they cut away from Akira being zapped and to him pressing the button, we didn't know if his finger fell on the button as he was falling. Because as we saw with Emma and everybody else, they all kind of got zapped, stood for a second, and then fell. With Akira, he had his hand over the button and ready to press it before he got zapped. So if he fell and he touched a button, then, it would have been a success. Now we find out that the neuron link does turn a dark purpley black sort of colour. So this does tell us that Akira pulled it off. He'd done it. So his part in the show has been done for this point at the moment in time. Brilliant. But what made this scene even more impactful from an emotional standpoint is the fact that while he had his consciousness taken and was fading away, all he could think about was his sister Aoi. And this spurred him for some miracle to press the button as he was falling. This does great things for his character in terms of adding more emotional weight and value and not really development as such, but just all characterization from his character. I really did like that. It was great. Next we talk about I. As we saw from the preview, we knew I was going to do something drastic. And he does in fact sacrifice himself because after Akira takes down the neuron link, Bohman brings it back up within seconds. It's worth noting though that people can log out at this point, so Soul Technology does actually do its job properly and forcefully log people out. Why Playmaker didn't get logged out forcefully, I don't know. But hey. And I sacrificed himself because the neuron link's back up and running. But while he's doing this, he adds to his character in terms of development and characterization because as he's going, we see his determination and the heart that he possesses in wanting to stop this neuron link. Because not only is he giving Playmaker a pep talk about all the bonds and friendships that he's created and all the wills and wishes he carries, and that he shouldn't waver or he shouldn't back down, he also loses a lot of himself. So I think I ends up losing his arms, his shoulders, parts of his body while he's on his way to the neuron link. So this does impactfully show his resolve, his commitment and his desire to see a brighter future. Now the whole bond talking kind of did remind me of 5Ds, and this series altogether has been quite similar to 5Ds. But, it's Link Vrains. What are you going to do about it? So we have this. Two characters that have done extraordinary things in this episode, and it worked nicely. I like the way that they handled it in this episode, and it was done in a nice positive, not positive because they died, but it was done in a good way. Now, we can bounce off that and say that Playmaker had a fair amount of development, but not in terms of sort of speech. Like, he didn't tell us speech-wise that he had development. We got to see his emotional effects that everything has had on him by his facial expressions. And this could be the same said for Bohman, because this episode focused a lot on the facial expressions on every character involved. And this was really a good way that they used in order to show us the emotional... I'm trying to think of the word. The emotional kind of stability that these characters are holding. So on one side, you've got Playmaker not wanting to give up, so he's showing determination, but he's also showing distress and discomfort because he's finding out all these people that he holds dear to him are being sacrificed. But then, like I said, he's showing determination because he knows that these people are being sacrificed, and he's getting up and wanting to do it. In terms of body language and facial expressions, Playmaker showed development for his character. Bohman, on the other hand, is showing that he's kind of going off the rails, having a hissy fit, becoming a little bit more sinister with his facial expressions. Now, I didn't like Bowman's facial expressions too much. Like, personally speaking, my head kind of went, oh, in this scene he looks like Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. And, I don't like that. Like, I'm not comparing the two in terms of characters, I'm just comparing them in terms of facial expressions. And I kept thinking that Bohman was Dio due to the expressions of their face. That kind of messed with my head a little bit, but that's a personal thing. It's just my opinion. You would obviously have different opinions in it, but now that I've said it, you might think that as well. I don't know. That's just the vibe that I got. Bohman did show that he is losing it a bit, though, in this episode. Because after his Chimera Hydrodrive dragon is destroyed, thanks to having a faulty dice roll, and Akira's efforts, Ai's efforts, Playmaker takes it down. He has a hissy fit after restoring the neuron link twice, and it falling, and he starts destroying everything around him. He does this in order to create a big data storm that is enough to create another Link 5 monster. And this Link 5 monster is a double-edged sword as such. Because yes, it's powerful and it's strong and it's good at taking down your opponents. But it also has one major big flaw. And it kind of does remind me of Slifer the Sky Dragon. Slifer the Sky Dragon has a good ability, but it's weakened by the fact you have to have cards in your hand. Whereas this new Link 5 monster, which is called Perfection Hydrodrive Dragon, is kind of similar because it has 0 attack points, but it gains 100 attack points, not 100, sorry, 1,000 attack points for every Hydrodrive or Hydrodrag, whatever it is, counter that you have on it. Now at the start of being summoned, he can summon 5 counters and put it onto him. So he has 5,000 attack points. Okay, fine. Plus Judgment Arrows is now on the field, on his side, so he's got more than enough to take Playmaker out. Thanks to Playmaker's skills and quick thinking, he drops Hydrodrag Dragon's attack down to 0. But Bohman still attacks, and this is because of the other effects that this Link 5 monster has. And basically all battle damage becomes 0. Okay. And you can take 1 counter off, and the monster is not destroyed. Okay, fine. And his other effect, this is where it gets a bit tricky and a bit more kind of good, in my opinion. So, you destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field at the end of the battle. And then you deal 300 points of damage for every Link Hydrodrive monster in your GY. Now this results in Playmaker going down to 100 life points. But that skill, that last skill in the card, does make it very good. But if you have monsters that can take off your counters, or if you have monsters that can attack multiple times, resulting in Bohman taking off a counter each time, it's going to lose out on attack points quickly. Much like with Slifer, if you get rid of someone's hand, Slifer's cards are going to go down drastically. So that's the only downside to this Link 5 monster that I can see, and I can see that using it as a loophole in order to let Playmaker win this duel. Honestly speaking, I think Playmaker is going to win, but I want to hear from you guys. How do you think Playmaker is going to win? Or how do you think Bohman's going to win if you're on Bohman's side? Or if you're on neither and you think it's going to be a no contest, then let me know. However, I reckon a no contest is now completely ruled out because too much has been risked and sacrificed. So that's all I've really got to say about this episode. Again, animation was brilliant. There were some stages in the episode where the animation did drop off a tiny bit, but I think they used it well in terms of characterization and showing the mood, the expressions, the body language, and it all worked together nicely. The whole episode itself really didn't stretch out that long in terms of real time, but it did contain a lot of emotional, impactful character moments that really do make the episode worth watching. So if you haven't watched it yet, even though I pretty much spoiled quite a bit of it for you, I would highly recommend for you to go and watch it. However, looking at next week's episode, it looks like we might have the conclusion of this duel. But again, I don't know, it might go on for another 2 episodes. Who knows at this point? Anyway, I'm excited to see how this is going to conclude. If you are, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new, so you never miss a video from me. I do other anime sort of related content and Yu-Gi-Oh related content as well. So look forward to that in the future. Or, if you're new, look forward to watching what's already on my channel. But until next time guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and keep it anime. Bye.